Hello and welcome back to the channel. Sorry I haven't been on it for a while, but been busy doing this, which I'm now about to talk about. I've got a little list of all the things so I don't miss anything really. Yeah, so firstly, it's a GT750A 1976. Anyone will know that if they've seen the previous videos, which I did purchase as a basket case with loads of bits missing. So that's important to mention because, you know, obviously I've had to trace a lot of bits. So the first thing I'll mention before going any further is the front mudguard is off a B model. It was on it when I got it. It was in good condition. It did need re-chroming, but it was solid and had no dents in, so I had it done. I was thinking at the time that maybe if someone had an A front mudguard with the twin stays, I would do a swap, you know, when this is done, if they had a good one to swap with. But do you know what, I like the look of that mudguard. I always thought when the B came out how much better the mudguard looked. I didn't really like those twin stays, so I'm quite happy to stick with it, to be honest. That's the only thing that might not look 100% right. Yeah, so chroming I've had done. Now the back, I was going to look for another mudguard because this one wasn't, you know, brilliant when I had it chromed. It was quite pitted as they get, you know. But surprisingly, the chromer has done a good job. He's managed to get most of the pitting out. There are little bits, so it's not, you know, it's not concours. It's good, and it looks nice. I mean, bits that come up well as the this number plate bracket or tail light bracket, I should say. I mean, some of the stuff is just new anyway. I mean, shocks are new. Got them from Legend Motorcycles on eBay. Indicators are new. I think they're either aluminium or plastic, so you can't chrome them. But I think it was cheaper anyway to get these, and these are really, they look the part. They look exactly the same. The lenses might be slightly different, but chain guard re-chromed, grab rail re-chromed, airbox covers re-chromed. Obviously the headlight brackets, headlight, the back of the clocks, the chrome bits on there. I didn't actually have that chromed. I got that. That's a new one. I didn't have the wheels chromed. They're new rims. Obviously, little bits like the kickstart gear lever, brake lever here, and you know, all those little bits. Everything you need to do. Yeah, and I had it done at a place in Baldock in the UK, obviously, so people that are abroad wouldn't know it, but anyone in the UK probably heard of Baldock, and a guy did the whole lot for £500, which I thought was quite good. Yeah, so moving on to the engine, I had there was loads of bits missing in this engine when I got it. If you see my previous video, you'll see all I had was casings. I had most of the gearbox, but not all. A lot of bits, loads of little bits missing. The gear selector drum was missing, the gear selector forks were missing. I think because the history of the bike is the guy stripped it down years and years ago. In fact, the tax on it was 1984 or 1985. And he stripped it down, took the crank out to have it done, obviously took the exhaust off. But anyway, cut a long story short, all them bits got lost or given to the scrap man or something. But luckily everything else was, you know, here. Pretty much like this, without an engine and empty casings. Yeah, so I had to source a lot of parts. So the crankshaft was missing, but I managed to find one because I joined the Kettle club, and there's a guy in the Kettle club It was really good, and he had loads of stuff from what I needed for the engine. Well, there was two guys in the Kettle Club that actually give me a lot of stuff, or I purchased a lot of stuff. I got a crank off one guy for £100. I got loads of other bits. I can't actually remember what I did get off him, but I think I've got a picture I can put up showing you that, what I actually got off him. The carburetors were missing, that was the other thing, but I got them somewhere different. No one in the Kettle Club. I just found it on Facebook, I think it was. Yeah, it was Facebook. Someone was selling them. Carbs and airbox, that was missing. But I've done all that, obviously. Painted it and refurbished it. I had the casings vapor blasted, the barrels and the cylinder head vapor blasted, which I think is well worth it because it really looks nice. And then the crankshaft, I had it reconditioned at Grampian Motors, which was another 550 quid, so that's 650 quid to do the crank, but that's all new bearings, obviously, new conrods, small ends, seals. I did every single bearing in that engine. I replaced all the gearbox bearings, everything I could. It's had a new water pump. Yeah, so you know, should be good. Also had a new third gear. They're renowned for knocking out third gear, and I managed to pick up a new, obviously genuine third gear, so that's fitted as well. Well, the paintwork, that's an original Suzuki paint. Now that's survived really well. I don't know why. The rest of the bike was in the right state really, but somehow the tank is good. But then it's been off the road since 1985, so you know, it's a 1976 bike, so you know, it's not that long a time it was on the road for, because it's, so anyway, that's original, which is nice, because I like, you can only have the original paint once, of course. The original paint on this side panel. Actually, that was missing, the side panels were missing, but I managed to find one on eBay, came from America. One this side was, I had to get repainted, but that looks fine. New badges. The frame was originally powder coated, again back in the 80s, and it's still good. You know, there was a few little dings in, but nothing to worry about. It's still shiny and good, so I left that. The swinging arm I did have to do again. That was did look a bit rough, so I did that. Yeah, I'm just trying to think what else I painted. Obviously I've had to do the top and bottom yokes, the switches, stuff like that, and the clocks, you know. But yeah, that's about it on the paint. The brakes, I've I'd stripped the calipers back to bare metal, and a friend of mine painted them 2-pack paint, because I knew that when I bleed the brakes you have to use 2-pack, because if you spill a little bit of brake fluid on aerosol paint, it just takes it off, whereas proper 2-pack doesn't. There's only a few things I've used aerosol, and that's the switches, but they're going to be fine. The top yoke, and the rest of it was all sort of, yeah, it's all good sort of 2-pack paint, which would, you know, survive spillages and brake fluid spillage or fuel spillage or something without taking it off. Oh, and the radiator I did that in heat resistant aerosol, but again that'll be all right. Yeah, so I rebuilt the master cylinder with genuine Suzuki rebuild kit. That brake's really good actually, really nice. Calipers, new pistons and seals, again off Legend Motorcycles, I think it was, eBay. Yeah, so even did the zinc plating myself. You know, I've got one of those, well, I haven't got a proper kit, but I sort of made my own kit. I won't go into that, but I think there's another video on that I did. But that seems to be alright. These I did myself with zinc plating. It's probably not quite as shiny as you know, professionally done, but it's all right. Loads of nuts and bolts like that. Yeah, so that's good. The switches, as I was saying, oh no, the clocks I mentioned first. The clocks were in good nick, but I took them all apart. As I said, I did have the back chrome bits re-chromed, but I took them all apart. Well, I didn't take the glass out, masked it all up, but painted. That was just aerosol, but that looks all right. It was satin, so they come out nice. And the switches, again, as I said, satin black with them. And I managed to get a little pot of this orange model paint for the you know, the orange writing on the switches. This switch was actually broken, which I repaired. Did good repair on that. Mirrors, I actually got them from the guy that gave me the exhaust, which I will come to. Yeah, the exhaust, I mentioned that now. When I got the bike, the exhausts, as I say, were missing, and there was a guy I know who's got a GT750B, and he's just got a set of those Delkovic pipes, £1,400 a set. He waited, I think it was about 8 months. Anyway, he got them in the end, and he said, would I fit them? Because I'm a motorcycle mechanic, and he's not really mechanically minded. He wanted me to fit them. He said I could have his old exhausts if I fit his Delkovic pipes. So I said, yeah, that's fine. But I did have to do some other things as well for him. He wanted engine bars fitted. He wanted the ears on his B model are a satin black, but he had chrome, sorry, not chrome, he had gloss painted ones, and he'd managed to find some original satin ones, so he wanted them fitting, and a small service. Anyway, at the end of the day, he gave me his exhausts, those mirrors, this radiator crash bar, some footrest rubbers. What else did he give me? A few other bits, but I can't quite remember what it was. But I was well pleased with that. So, you know, I mean, it did cost me money, I suppose, but it cost me time more than money, if you know what I mean. I got the wheel rims from Central Wheel Building Company, and the spokes, and did them myself. So, and they've come out really good. I'm really pleased with them. They did have choice of chrome. It was standard chrome or British chrome, and I did go for the British chrome because I believe it's better. A little bit more money, but it's worth it. Tyres are the Avon Road Rider tyres, which a lot of people use now. They're nice, sort of modern tyre, but still, you know, the right width and looks good. Now the seat I got from Classic Bike Shop is the seat, and you know, I'm really pleased with it because keep that in there. It looks right. It's a copy, obviously. It's 200 quid, but in actual fact it was cheaper. I actually got it in the end. That was it. I remember now. You can go direct on their website, the Classic Bike Shop, and it's cheaper from there than it is on eBay. But you know, same supplier, same place. But anyway, the seat looks perfect. It's nice and slim. That's what I hate it when somebody restores a bike and then they don't do a proper job with the seat. They don't bother with the piping around the edges. The foam might be too thick. You know, it can ruin the look of the bike. But I mean, this is a nice, like the original, quite a slim seat, and it, you know, it's really done nice. It's got the Suzuki on the back, the chrome piping, as I said, and the strap, and it's ready to fit, and it's great. I'm really pleased with it. So there's no problem with that at all. Front forks, new stanchions from Legend Motorcycles again. I've got quite a few bits off them. I say the rear shocks, the indicators, the fork stanchions, the brake rebuild kit, all came from Legends, which are on eBay. Yeah, new fork stanchion, reconditioned the forks, obviously seals and all the rest of it. Oh, that was the other thing I got. I forgot to mention the water pump. Now, you can get seals for the water pump, but 9 times out of 10 the water pump shaft is worn out. And there's a guy in the Kettle Club, Nick Lowe his name is, and he reconditions them, but he supplies a brand new shaft. He does the whole lot, including the shaft, for 140 quid, so it's all ready to just slot in. So it's got one of them in it. And he also does the gear selector, digital gear selector switch. I've got a picture of that, so I'll put that up. But he makes them himself, again about 140 quid through the Kettle Club, because they're impossible to find now any good. I think they're all knackered, the original ones. I believe Suzuki were still doing them a few years back, but they're not anymore. So, but yeah, as I say, everything in that engine has been done. All new bearings, and that should be good. I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else to say really about it. There's a few little things I managed to get. Horn. It's a pattern one, but it looks exactly like the original. And it's nice to be able to have a bike without spending absolute fortune. I mean, you can pay £5 for a restoration, and then you probably have to spend another £5 doing it up, because that's what I've spent on this, and that's including buying it, believe it or not. So yeah, it will be nice to have one of these that looks exactly like it would have done in the day, pretty much. For a reasonable price, not stupid amounts of money. I mean, these can fetch 12, 13, 14. I've even seen one for 18 grand. You know, a lot of money. But it's nice to be able to get one that looks nearly as good as an 18 grand restoration, but nowhere near the same cost. You know, I've done everything myself. That's the thing. I rebuilt the wheels myself. You know, painted everything. I've done everything myself, all the rebuild on the engine. A lot of people wouldn't do that themselves. You can pay someone to do it, and they might charge a couple of thousand to do an engine rebuild. So yeah, that's it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. The next one might be a bit more of this when it's maybe finished, or maybe something before then, we'll see. Right, cheers.